Since the 3rd century, humans have been using animals for scientific research. More recently, we have begun using animals to test products like medication and cosmetics, and verify their safety for human use. This video will be focusing on one particular kind of animal used for testing, Macaque fascicularis, otherwise known as the crab-eating or long-tailed macaque. Long-tailed macaques are usually caught in the wild and smuggled across borders or sold from breeding houses to be used for testing. Such specimens are housed in subpar conditions with little regard for the animal's welfare before being tested on, which may involve subjecting the animal to dangerous substances and great pain. The capture of wild macaques, both to be sent directly to research facilities or to stock breeding facilities, has resulted in a dramatic decline of wild populations, leading to their classification as an endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN for short. This video aims to explore the reasons for macaque testing and also if and how this harmful practice can be stopped. Macaques are sought after as test subjects because of their genetic similarity to humans and the belief that a primate's body works similarly to that of a human. Many are not only used to test medicines or treatments but also for less essential tests such as general toxicity tests for cosmetics. This is because, due to safety and human rights issues, products cannot be directly tested on humans. In the European Union, there is a law mandating that before a product can be tested on humans, it has to be tested on at least 2 other species. Even though there are alternative testing methods brought about by advances in technology which do not involve animals, many still stick to the outdated methods of testing on primates. The long-tailed macaque has been the preferred test species for a long time, mainly because of their small size. They are easy to handle compared to other macaques like the large rhesus macaque. Additionally, the long-tailed macaques are easier to procure from the habitat countries due to a lack of protection for the species. There is also a perception that there are enough macaques to go around. This harmful mentality results in an attitude in which we take as many macaques as we want from the wild. The problem also persists because some governments neglect the issue or even support the labs that test on macaques. Many labs and breeding centers have permission from the government for general upkeep where they capture new macaques from the wild regularly to ensure the genetic diversity and also to maintain the center. Furthermore, these breeding centers often neglect the well-being of the macaques to breed enough of them to meet the demand, resulting in further suffering. Contrary to common beliefs, macaques are classified as an endangered on the IUCN Red List. Macaques are often caught in the wild from their habitats, and this high rate of macaque capture for experimentation decreases the population of the macaques in the area, threatening the survival of the population. The removal of any species from its environment has the potential to disrupt biodiversity. For example, macaques are important seed dispersers. Therefore, the removal of macaques from their habitats can result in a decrease in the number of fruiting trees in the area, possibly leading to a cascading effect, hurting the populations of other organisms. The use of macaques in lab testing often involves subpar treatment and housing of the macaques. In our research, we conducted an interview with someone who had previously worked in a lab in Singapore, which had used macaques for testing. The lab used both wild-caught and breeding center macaques for numerous studies on cognitive disabilities. The worker stated that the macaques were housed individually in barren metal cages in the lab, with bars at only one side. They get no social interaction and no chance to see natural sunlight that is needed for the circadian rhythm. They are deprived of any interaction and can be seen trying to get physical contact by reaching their hands out of the bars in search of monkeys in other cages. Furthermore, the cages were quite small, around 50 cm wide, which would leave these usually active animals unable to move around much. Being a primate closely related to humans, macaques possess an enhanced general intelligence compared to other animals and are extremely social. They experience emotions in a similar way to humans and have the cognitive ability to be aware that they have been taken from the wild or are treated badly, and thus are sensitive to the suffering from the experimental procedures and treatment in the lab. Furthermore, the National Institutes of Health reports that animal tests have an appalling 95% failure rate in predicting the safety and or effectiveness of pharmaceuticals on humans. It is shown that the rhesus macaque have a similar reaction to COVID-19 compared to humans, but long-tailed macaques had different reactions. The practice of macaque testing is clearly not as simple and effective as people think. Thus, many macaques are put through needless suffering. Fortunately, there is hope. The UK and EU have banned use of animals for cosmetic testing in 2013. In fact, 42 countries around the world have either fully or partially banned cosmetic testing on animals. Furthermore, alternatives to animal testing, such as the use of isolated cells and computer models, have risen to prominence. Despite their current shortcomings, such as their inability to give the whole picture of a complicated living system, we are sure that future progress will render them just as, if not more effective than animal testing. People like you and I can make a difference by raising awareness about the cruelty of macaque testing and choosing to buy products that have not been tested on animals. By doing this, we can persuade pharmaceutical and cosmetic companies to shift away from macaque or animal testing. We can do our part by attempting to dispel the notion that macaques are plentiful resources, by spreading awareness of their status as an endangered species and worrying population decline. The ultimate goal would be to change the culture of how we see experimentation completely. There is no real need to test on macaques or any other animals, given how far we have advanced.